Hi there, it's Fran Davidson from psychicandenergywork.com.au, and this is part 3 of the video elements of my monthly observations for February 2025. Trying saying that with your mouth full. Okay, so this part 3 is always about the MO in the month's profile. The MO is the second most important number you could argue in a chart, whether that's being for a person or a period, or even a being, a creature, animal even. So the MO tells us how we're about to achieve the birth number states. If you want to come across the birth number states for February 2025 a little bit more, go through to my second video, part 2, for this month's observations of January 2025, or through to the website psychicandenergywork.com.au to the monthly observations page. Very briefly, the birth numbers this month, which I've run through in part 2, are 2 and 20272. Yeah, the MOs tell us how we're about to achieve those states, and even how we're about to learn so as to achieve those states. So every February we see 42, which reduces to 6, coming up as an MO. If we combine that with 2025 as a birth name, we will also see this month on a specific level an MO of 145, which reduces through 10 on its way to 1. So here we have another 10, another master number coming into this month's chart in a way that suggests that this month might be, should we say, louder as a spiritual, energetic, personal development period, even personal challenge period, whether that's from a really pleasant perspective or whether that's perhaps a little bit more jarring. 6, okay, so again, the generic MO every February is 42, which reduces to 6. 6 can be seen as feelings. Feeling, therefore. 6 can be seen as healing and health. 6 can also be peace, harmony, rebalancing. Also, 6 is seen as the number of authenticity. 6, it can be read as caring, serving, teaching, love, kindness, consideration. And we don't do any of those states. Well, we don't manifest peace and harmony if we're not genuine. That doesn't necessarily mean we're always balanced genuine, does it? But you see, 6 is be genuine. 6 is be honest, be open, fear nothing, because there's nothing to fear. And of course, one of the things that we can all fear at times is expressing ourselves. Whether that's because we're about to disclose something that really, really matters and we're feeling a bit vulnerable, or whether it's because we don't like conflict, or for any other reason. But of course, it is only through our willingness to share, our willingness to be open and expressive, in the name of right outcomes, ideally, that we actually get to authentic peace, authentic care, authentic understanding. So you might at this point, having watched and read the parts 1 and 2 for my monthly observations about this February, you might be sensing how this month really might ask us all to step into our adulthood all over again. And this is where the specific MO for February 2025 also kicks in, because it's a 145 going through 10 on its way to 1. I've already written on the website for this month, 10 and therefore 1 is a period that asks us to step again into adult self. And when I say adult self, it is grounded, it's just present, it's just I am. It's not projecting opinion and assumption and expectation. It's just going, you know what? I get that life's flow. I'm actually able to let life inform me in the moment. I understand the value of that. I'm able to clear and ground in a way that I don't go into situations or dialogues loaded with yesterday or loaded with assumptions that may well skew the outcomes unnecessarily or even burn energy without really needing to. So 10-1 is a place of adult. It's the place of grown up. And therefore, it can be a period that really asks us to look at whether we're being as grown up as we can be, whether we're being the best version of ourselves in that moment. Not necessarily because we weren't, but are we being all the adult? And implicit in being an adult is being a mentor. Not because we nominate ourselves for that job title, but because, hello, a good mentor listens as well as they talk. They take things on board. They take time to witness, to observe, to understand before they act. One is adulthood. It's being the best version of elderhood that you possibly could for all the right reasons. Understanding that, hello, we're all the same. We're all as beautiful. We're all as not so beautiful from different angles maybe. But one is the period where we really know that, and therefore we don't need to go in with falsehood, with facade, I want to use the word fakeness. Yeah, however we do that, which we all can. So therefore, if you combine those two MOs, what can come out as a message is that don't be surprised if this month asks you to let go of your costumes, of your scripts, not necessarily because they're wrong. We all have costumes. Yeah. The minute we go public, potentially we have already stepped into a particular way of presenting that we think, consciously or not, we have to step into in order to achieve. That needn't be a loud dynamic. It can just be, you know what, I'm going to work, so I've got my work face on. It could be, you know, I'm just about to mingle with family, so I've got my family face on. Whatever it is, you know, and we can all do it consciously and unconsciously. We're the same. So therefore, don't be surprised if this month helps you learn through those things, not only in terms of how you're interfacing with those dynamics, but also how others are. Every number, as I say often, every number represents not only what we're about to learn and grow through and be helped to learn and grow through. It also represents what we might be called on to help others learn and grow through. And again, be really wary of these words, because it's not as if any of us have the right to nominate ourselves as somebody else's mentor, is it? And yet life asks us to just be us. The more we are just us, warts and all, no costumes, no scripts, no projections, the more we are the best level of example, and the more we are a very active mentor without even trying, simply because we're just being real. This month could also ask everybody to get real in a way that is perhaps more confronting, not necessarily negatively, hugely negatively. It could just be, you know what, stop and think about that. 6 is, again, care. 6 is consider. 6 is help each other. Why? Because we're all bumbling, stumbling human beings. Nobody's unique on that count, and nobody's left out of that equation. And the more we know that, the more we can step into, I don't know. We don't have to know to succeed. Of course, we need to use our skills and experience. Of course, it pays to keep up with things and to develop your skills, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, the best place to liaise with is, all right, I have these things in the background, but I don't know what's just about to happen. And so therefore, instead of going in, filling space with self and forecast, go in as somebody who's willing to allow space, to let space talk, to let space inform, whether space is defined as just space or whether it is, hello, the people or you are just about to bump into. Because the more we enter things willing to be informed, not because we need to be necessarily, but because we could be, the more we allow life to speak, life to show, and others to help us understand, the more we're going to get to the right end place, which ultimately everybody else will agree with. Why? Because if we're genuine, if we're coming from the right place, ultimately all needs will be met, even if they need to be negotiated. So how do you do this? So many ways. For now, the one that really comes to mind, Let go of all definitions of yourself. Allow yourself to come back to just being a human being. Implicit in that, again, needs to be the acceptance that we are all as clever, we are all as skilled, we are all as wonderful. And of course, we're all as, I don't know what that other word would be, whatever it is that comes to mind in the moment. But we're all those things on a regular basis all the time. We're here to learn from each other, about each other as a reflection of self. And through that, we're being given constant opportunities to step into ourselves, represent ourselves as humility, as integrity, as a willingness to work with others for our own benefit, let alone everyone else's. Because this month has an MO of 42.6, it will want authenticity. It will dare you to represent that. It will dare you to emulate love, kindness, support, even if you've got to say no. So travel well. Let me know if you need a hand with this. Let me know if you need any form of energy work, be it reading, healing, spirit work, space clearing. But know, most importantly, that for whatever you don't know, for whatever's pushing your buttons right now, you're doing well. Life as a human is unknowns, and the more we embrace that as a dare to enjoy it, the better we share the world. Take good care. Thanks for watching. Please go through to the website, to the monthly observations page, to read this section, part 3, about the MOs for February. And if you wish, move on to the part 4, or even backwards. Yeah, take good care. Let me know how this comes across, and thanks for tuning in.